On a cold October morning in northern Washington, a 34-year-old man named Aaron Miles left his small cabin and walked into the woods behind his home. He told his neighbors he would be back before dark. He never returned. Aaron was known as a quiet, gentle man who loved nature more than anything else. He spent his weekends hiking, taking photographs of wildlife, and exploring forgotten trails that most people avoided. But on this morning, something felt different. He left his camera behind. He took no backpack, no water, just his jacket and his boots. At first, no one noticed he was missing. It was normal for him to spend long hours in the forest. But when the sun dropped behind the mountains and Aaron still had not come home, the first feeling of unease spread through the tiny community. By the next morning, neighbors gathered outside his cabin, knocking on the door, calling his name. There was no answer. Search teams entered the woods with dogs, flashlights, and thermal drones. For the first time, people began to understand how silent and dangerous these woods truly were. The tall pines blocked the light. The air felt colder than usual. And the deeper the team went, the more they felt a heavy sense of being watched. Only one piece of evidence was found on the first day. A single boot print, fresh, deep in the mud near a narrow trail that almost no one used. A trail known among locals for strange stories, voices heard at night, shapes seen between the trees, and people who claimed they felt followed. On the second day, the dogs picked up Aaron's scent. It led the search team to a clearing about 5 miles from his cabin. There, on the edge of a fallen log, they found something that stopped everyone cold. Aaron's jacket, folded, neatly, as if placed there on purpose. What made it stranger was the temperature. It was close to freezing. No one would take their jacket off. No one would leave it folded like that. The sheriff ordered the team to keep searching. But every step deeper into the woods made the atmosphere feel heavier. Trees seemed to lean inward. Birds had gone silent. Even the wind felt wrong, slipping between branches like a whisper. Late in the afternoon, a drone operator spotted something unusual on his monitor. A figure standing between 2 trees, completely still. The operator zoomed in. The figure did not move, not even an inch. But before they could get a clear image, the screen flickered, and the figure disappeared. Teams rushed to the location, but nothing was there. Only broken branches, disturbed soil, and an odd circular pattern carved into the ground. It looked old, and it looked deliberate. On the third day, they found Aaron's second boot. It was standing upright in the middle of a moss-covered patch of ground. No footprints led to it. No footprints led away. It was as if it had been dropped from above. By now, the search had turned into fear. People whispered that Aaron had not simply gotten lost. They whispered that something had taken him. Locals shared stories that outsiders never believed. Stories of people hearing footsteps behind them but seeing no one. Stories of lights moving between trees. Stories of a presence that followed hikers, only appearing when they were deep enough to be completely alone. On the 4th day, the search was officially suspended. No new evidence, no trace of where Aaron could have gone, and each step into the forest felt more dangerous than the last. Families begged officials to stop. Even the dogs refused to go deeper, pulling their handlers back toward safety. The case became one more unsolved disappearance. One more name added to a growing list of people who walked into the woods and were never seen again. But the most chilling part came weeks later. A hunter submitted a report to the sheriff. He said he was tracking deer near the old trails when he heard rustling behind him. Thinking it was an animal, he turned around. Instead, he saw a man standing between the trees, barefoot, dirty, and staring at him with empty, lifeless eyes. The hunter raised his flashlight. He said the man looked exactly like Aaron. Same face, same height, same expression. But before he could speak, the man turned and walked silently into the darkness, leaving no sound, leaving no footprints. The hunter never returned to those woods. Aaron Miles was declared legally missing. No body, no trace, no explanation. To this day, people living near the forest claim they still hear footsteps outside their homes on quiet nights. Some say they've seen a shadow moving between the pines. Some say the woods are alive, and they take whoever walks too deep. And the question remains, why did Aaron enter the woods that morning? And what did he encounter in the darkness that made him never come back? No one knows, and that is the most terrifying truth of all.